Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your Aptrepreneur, and I've got some bad news for people who work at Uber. You might lose your job next week, or very soon anyway, because the news I have today is that Uber, in preparation for an IPO, is starting to tighten the belt a little bit. They are looking at their programs, they're seeing what's working and what's not working. The good news is, if you are working on the flying car, well, that thing was canceled a while ago, and I think like 2 people were on it, and you probably just got moved somewhere else, so you guys are good. But the people who are definitely sweating a little bit tonight, or today, depending on how you want to look at it, is that there's the people who are working in the automobile loaning program. Now, this is something I never talked about on the show because I kind of lost focus on advice videos and started doing news videos. And I would like to start getting back into advice videos. And I guess we'll kind of start now by stating that, guys, I would not be doing any of these leasing programs through Uber. And Lyft isn't a whole lot better. It's a little better, but it's not a whole lot better. Basically, Uber had a leasing program, a car leasing program, where you could lease a vehicle to drive for Uber and you would get discounts on the vehicle. But the discounts were never very good, and the more Uber dropped their rates, the worse it got. And people who bought a car through the Uber lease program, because they did that too, especially got screwed in that area. Well, Uber anticipated this program to lose money, but it was worth it to them to get as many drivers on the road as possible. And this is why you need to have that mindset of you open a store, and once it makes money, you open another store. Because when Uber was initially losing $500 per car on this program, they eventually ended up losing $9,000 per car on the program. Check my notes. Yep, that's right. $9,000. I made a note. It's $9,000. And that is clearly not sustainable. That is not sustainable at all. But it was a good program when it started because, you know what? People who had not worked for a while and did not have a car, they could sign up for a car and they would be beholden to Uber. But now Uber's looking to get rid of the program very, very soon because it is a huge drain of resources and they just don't want to do it. And that means there might be some people who work in that division who will lose their jobs, unless someone wants to help Uber do it. In that case, Uber might keep the program around a little bit longer, and at that point, this video is officially useless. However, I do still want to comment on it because while I never believe that drivers should join the program, I didn't think it was ever worth doing it, even when the rates were $2.20 a mile, and that's what we were taking home, not what Uber was charging. The thing is, this will affect Uber, and this is also going to be a huge wake-up call to their autonomous vehicle program, because Uber was just leasing out vehicles. They're just leasing them out, and they were losing a lot of money on this. They just couldn't do it. Now, of course, some people would say with the autonomous vehicles that, well, they would get the whole fare, and that would make a world of difference. And you're right, it would make a world of difference. But you would also own the car, you'd have to pay the insurance, you'd have to pay the registration, you'd have to pay the smog, and those costs would also be on Uber. It is very telling that Uber could not make a lease program work without losing money. What makes them think they can do driverless cars and not lose money too? And for that matter, when they shutter this program, they are going to lose thousands of drivers on the road. Now, the drivers that they have, the ones who own cars, they have a huge bargaining chip because we know that they can't just get anyone off the road. Someone needs to be dependable and have their own car. And I would not be too surprised if these numbers come out and a quarter of the drivers on the road are leasing cars through Uber. I would not be surprised for one moment if that ended up being the case. And Uber will have to replace those people, and that won't be easy. Especially since driving for Uber, it used to be a cool idea. Not so much anymore. And it's because of videos like this one, admittingly. This one and the hundreds of others I did, the videos that Uberman made, the videos that Drive Girl Drive made. These are videos that show that, hey, driving for Uber is really not that great anymore. We're not treated well, we're not paid well, and, well, I hear the sign-up is not what it used to be. It's just clearly not what it used to be. And they still need people to sign up for Uber, they're just not getting any. And by cutting out this vehicle leasing program, and for the record, some Uber drivers do have their own cars that qualify for Uber. They just did not want to use it for Uber. They won't drive anymore either. So they're going to lose a lot of drivers, and how are they going to get new ones or retain the ones they have? I don't know. I don't know. I could suggest what they could do, but I think people at Uber already knows what that is. So let's see, Uber, what is your move? What is your next move? And what do you viewers think of this news? Do you think this is good news? Do you think it's bad news? Are you going to be personally affected by Uber shuttering their automobile leasing program? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoyed the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month or buying some swag from the Great Media Universe store. If you want to try driving for Uber with your own car, you can use the referral link below, and guess what? You will get a nice little bonus. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.